Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to the ultimate daily build along series. I am super excited to tell you that this video is sponsored by Lazer lamps. Wow. Wear gloves, guys. Oh, that's too good. So I've seen all the cool pictures on Instagram of the Swampers, and the Lazer lamps seems to be the go-to. So many rad vehicles out there with the Lazer lamps integrated into the grille. So I did what we all do, and I hit up YouTube looking for some video of install, integration kits, that kind of thing, and I pretty much couldn't find anything apart from Lazer lamps videos themselves that were taking place in the workshop. Now, my whole channel is based on the fact that you can do things on your driveway, and sometimes we just like to see a normal bloke do something like this on their driveway to prove that it can be done with yourself with a select few tools. Let's take a look. Wow, let me take you for a bit of an unboxing, because I've unboxed it and it is proper VIP. So I have gone for the RR 750 Elite LED lamps. These are basically full beams, just like you would get a light bar full beam. So in the kit, you get your lamp, your box with your lamps in, or you get this lovely black pimping envelope that's got your instructions in it, your declaration of conformity. So they are MOT compliant, TUV, Euro approved, British standard, red kite, red lion, everything. This is, you shouldn't struggle to get through an MOT. If you do, then the guy is telling you porky pies. So in this box you get your two lamps. I'll get them out shortly, and you get your wiring harness. I will talk you through all of this. You get the switch relay in there. I will talk you through all of that, because you don't need to know anything about that. Basically, it doesn't matter to you what goes on in there, but I will explain it to you, because it's quite a clever little device. And then you get your integration kit. So if you had a Ford Ranger, for example, you could have these lamps, but you would have a different integration kit. The lights are the same, how you mount them is the only thing that changes. In this box, these little white things, I will talk you through it, these little white things are basically jigs for cutting your grill area, and then the black is the finished items that will be left behind in your grill to mount the lights. Let's go take a look. Now then, I want a bit of a stupor. In the kit, in the integration kit, that's the first thing we're going to do. You get four, for the T6, you get 4 pieces of rough looking 3D printed plastic mouldings. They fit perfectly into the grill area. So they are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you look at them, 1, 2, 3, 4, you pretty much cannot get it wrong. This is moulded around the badge, and that sits up against there nicely, that sits up against there nicely, and then the furthermost, the widest ones, they hit on the ribs in the grill there, the vertical versions. What I will say is, on mine at the moment, it looks like I have to remove my 4motion badge, and I'm a little bit upset because the other kids won't know how cool I really am unless I've got this badge on there. They won't believe me. So basically this one, number 1, will pop into the grill there, and you push it to the left until it hits this rail here, and then the idea is this will allow you to run a blade along this edge to cut the horizontal bars out. But as far as I can tell from the instructions at the moment, and I have seen people actually lop the vertical ones off and sand them right back. I don't know if I'll choose to do that, but at the moment it says leave 10 mil of these, almost like little teeth, out the top, and 15 mil off the bottom. So you're not creating a massive opening, you are going to have these teeth that are left behind. Now I think the idea of that is that they will actually draw down closer onto your LED lamp and make it look like it's really, really integrated. So I will try that first and see how I feel about it. But yeah, for now, just a hacksaw blade. I have seen people use a multi-tool. Don't think it needs that. I've got all the time in the world, even though it looks like it's going to rain. Hacksaw down there, and then lop off, I think, pretty much straight, if that makes sense. So as this comes down at an angle, if you held your blade at a perfect 90 degrees, like horizontal to the ground, and lop that off in a natural, you'll see. So the cutwheel hacksaw is never perfect, and these do move, but I've got a funny feeling, I'm going to talk ahead of time here, that the black covers that go over will offer you some tolerances. This is never going to be a clean cut, but that gets totally covered with our lovely black finishing piece. Now, as far as I can see, if I put that blade on there and use this part of the grill as a datum, that would probably give me a nice cut. And then if I did the opposite on the bottom, using this second one up, that would leave a decent sized tooth there. I think that's what they want us to do. So let's go for it. Wear gloves, guys. Now I may, while that's open, just get a little file. Again, I think these are going to be totally covered up. But if I know that these are the correct size, I'll just make them edges a little bit more appealing. These pieces are now for the bin. They are literally just a jig for you to cut that aperture. I'm going to get the blower out and just get rid of all of this black nonsense, and we'll move on. So let's take a little look at the wiring harness. It's all pre-built, very, very simple, very, very obvious. You got these two. They will marry up with your LED lamps, so you want them to terminate somewhere near the light fittings themselves. So that's those two. You've then got this short one that is black. We all know that black is a negative or a ground, so that will go to your battery's negative. You've then got one of similar length, about 400mm, that's got an inline fuse holder. Has it got a fuse in there? It might be broke now, but it's got a fuse in there. And that is red, so that's obvious your battery's positive. And then you have this wire. This is your switch wire. Now, I like to call this a trigger wire because this will trigger when you want power to run through this switch relay. So in layman's terms, you're getting your power from your vehicle's battery. You'd never rig up a lamp like this. You wouldn't just extend your main beam headlight, the wire, because you'd melt the canvas. So you get your power from your vehicle's battery, and this has got power sat there ready all the time. But until this trigger wire is triggered, it will not pass through it. So no, if you wanted these lights to come on with your fog lights, your indicators, your horn, just rig that up to it. It's basically a signal wire which will allow power to pass through what is a 30 amp relay. And it's as simple as that. If you wanted to use this just totally independently via a switch, you would take this wire, I'm guessing directly back to your battery, so that it's always live until you switch, and then you switch that switch, and then it becomes actually live. It lets the power run through it. It's as simple as that. I am going to join mine to the main headlight beam, so whenever I flash my headlights or turn my lights on full, a little signal will go through there. We'll turn the switch in there and allow power to go through and turn the headlights on. Simple as that. Going to be. We need to access a wire. You choose your wire. So if you want them to be fog lights, if you want them to be independent lamps, totally up to you. I want mine to trigger on the main beam. So that'd be either if I turn my full beams on or if I flash my lights. This signal wire will tell that switch relay to open, send power from the battery. Boosh. Matt over at T5 Upgrades, been in contact with him. He said hit number 8 on the light cluster. It's the black and white one on the passenger side. That will get you your full beam. Great guy, by the way. I can barely reach mine. I took the cluster out the back and I've got limited access, so I'm going to use one on the driver's side. I've pulled it out now, so I can actually pull this out and work on that, and it is the same. I've tested it. Number 8, and it's just a bare white wire, not striped. I'm going to tap into number 8 on the driver's side. I'm going to solder it, so I'm just going to strip it back. You could splice it, not totally wanting to do that. I'm literally going to strip enough back, wrap my wire around it, solder it, and then that's the wiring done. Now it is time to fix the lights into the grille. I've had a quick look. It's nothing quite like what I expected, to be honest. So I've seen previous videos, and what you end up doing is firing a screw on the angle on the mount that's closest to the badge into this piece of plastic. That gives you a mechanical fixing. I couldn't find any information on the mechanical fixing on this side, and that is because there isn't one. Basically, the plastic molding on this side, because it wraps around this piece of trim at the back and kind of clips on, because it can't go that way because there's nowhere to go because it's 2 fixed points, and it can't come this way because it's hooked over the back. There is no mechanical fixing. It's absolutely cracking. So what we do is we build our light like this. So you basically put a bolt that is supplied, obviously, a bolt and a washer through that side. You'll fix it together and then basically push it into the grille. Make sure it's wired up first, guys. Fire that screw through there and it's done. Absolutely cracking and very, very seamless. So let's take a look at the one on the right first. So I'm saying that this, oh, that's too good. That is too good. That's too nice. I was not expecting that to so aggressively click in there. That, you know, that's home. Hopefully the microphone picked that up. And then on the angle here, there is a area where I can put a screw through into that badge just so it cannot come loose, although by the sound of that click I don't think there's any chance of that. It's an anti-vandal one. Oh yeah. Good bad. So that was the full unboxing and installation of the RR 750 Elite from Lazer Lamps into my Transporter T6 Highline. Couple of things to mention: make sure that you are buying the correct integration kit, because for example the same year in a start line will be a different integration kit, and make sure you're purchasing the correct lamps for your desire. So this is a full beam package, so this is an addition to full beam lights, but they do a daytime running light version, so they'll come on all the time with your daytime lights, and then it will alternate with your indicators, so there will be indicators as well if you choose them to. I got these directly from Lazer Lamps, but I will put a link in the description to T5, T6 upgrades. They stock all different kind of packages, so head over to there if you're interested in buying some of these. They are absolutely awesome. There's one thing left to do. They said it changes when the sun goes down. Let's hit the lights. So it is the dead of night. Not gonna lie to you, it took a little bit of justifying to convince the wife why I had to disappear in the middle of the night and go flash my lights in a wooded area, but here we are. I am going to do some flashing with the bulbs disconnected and then with the bulbs connected, which brings me on to a little tip. If you did have an MOT guy that was playing up, these are full MOT compliant, but if you were struggling to get them through an MOT because someone was a bit old school or didn't like the idea of the extra full beams in the front, just disconnect the fuse. Disconnect the fuse and they will be totally dead. So here we go. I think I'm going to do, I may even see if I can get the drone up. I'm going to do some befores and I'm going to do some afters. So you may think that you are in the back of Beyond, and you're in this creepy little lane, surrounded basically by farms. Didn't take long before two lads on motocross bikes came by, paid some special extra attention and was asking if I had drones on board and things like that, which I have. Don't know what their game was. And then a moody car that was filled with 5 men came by. Yeah, so no time for drone footage, but as you can see from the onboard footage, I haven't seen it yet, but if it is anything like what it looks like in reality, they are a massive improvement. Obviously I went there with the Lazer lamps already on, so the footage is actually backwards. So I used it with the Lazer lamps on, and then I took the Lazer lamps out of the equation. I didn't realize how bad it was going to be with the standard headlights. So a massive improvement on that headlight beam, and I think a must have.